prime my face with, well, not with my primer, but with my face products, it's very important to moisturize your face and do all those things before you do your makeup. It's just gonna make your skin more glowy, less dry, just all the good things. I used this, and I use this at night too. It's really, really good. And it's like a cryo freeze, really helps like just bring the blood flow back to your face. And then I put a little bit of this moisturizer, the Glow Boost. And let it sit on your face before you start applying your products, because if you apply your products right after you did your moisturizers, you're gonna look a little greasy. So let's jump right into this makeup routine, guys. So I already got my concealer on. I set my eyes with my Ciate setting powder. That way no creasing. We don't want no creasing action today. So now we're gonna play around with, I bet you can't guess what eyeshadow palette I'm gonna use. I'll give you a second. Did you guess? I'm sure you did. If you've been watching me for 2 seconds, you either probably guessed a Morphe, or actually, if you're really, really smart, you know what I haven't used yet. Ta-da, ta-da, ta-da. She upside down. Oh my gosh, she's upside down. Let's do that again. Ta-da, 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 ta-da. Okay, I'll stop being lame now, and we'll just jump right into it. I'm really excited. I have not used this one. I actually have not even really swatched this one, so I'm excited, and this is one that really, really, really has excited me. So we're gonna try to do something nice and fun with it. I'll show you her open. You guys are gonna love it if you haven't seen it before. Look at that. Isn't that just gorgeous? Like, just the colors itself are gorgeous. The palette's gorgeous. I mean, I love all the packaging on her palettes. And I noticed that this back part is a little more like rubbery than the normal. The normal ones are kind of, they're all this material, which I just think that's cool. I mean, they're just gorgeous palettes. So I'll stop rambling on about my excitement, because I could ramble forever, and we're gonna jump right into it. I haven't quite decided what I'm gonna do yet, so we'll kind of figure that out together. Alright, so we're gonna start with Glory, I think. This color right here, it's like a magenta kind of pink. And I'm actually gonna go in a different little order, or to go a little different today, and I'm gonna start by placing it just on my lip right here. I've done it this way before, but it's not my usual technique. I go all around with techniques. I try new things all the time. So nothing too fancy right now, just get her on the lid. And it doesn't have to be perfect or anything like that at this point. And of course, she's already looking gorgeous and pigmented. Now that I have that on my lid, I'm going to go in with this color. It's called Carnelian, I think is how you say it. And this is real pretty. It looks like a butterscotch is what I would call it. And I'm gonna do a little bit of that, and we're gonna start going right above it. And I'm just using my blending, my Morphe 330 blending brush. I'm going right on top. And I'm even like kind of hitting a little bit over to get that nice like kind of blend. And now just kind of get the product on there. So I'm tapping and kind of swirling. tapping. We'll go do a lot more blending in a little bit, so don't like be too focused on blending right now. If you're trying to do this, look at home. All right, now that you have that applied, you know, the way you want it, I'm going to now go in with the citrine. See, this is more like a butterscotchy. Now we're kind of getting into, what else is yellow? Don't know many things that are yellow. We're getting into like a sunshine yellow now. And so I'm gonna switch to a little smaller of a blender as I was using this big one. You know, not big, but it's an average size. And now this is a little smaller, a little tighter. And I'm gonna go right above that yellow. And this is where we're gonna kind of start blending and, you know, or trying with, so we're gonna take that citrine, get my brush nice in, and we're gonna go right above. And like I said, I like to go a little bit over, like just barely over the line. That's how you get that good blend. We're gonna go right above it. And we're not gonna make it too big. That's why I shortened my, not shortened, a bit smaller blending, because I don't wanna blend it all the way up. I don't want it as big as the yellow. Because I do wanna add, try and squeeze in at least one more shade, or two, or three, no. You're not gonna see for like much of a difference, but when it gets all done, you're gonna see that like transition, kind of going like that sunset. It's kind of what I'm going for, or actually sunrise. Yes, sunrise, not sunset. Now I'm gonna switch to an even smaller little brush. It's kind of pointy, but it's still got like some fluffiness to it, so it'll help, you know, still be able to blend. You don't want it too pointy, because then you're just gonna have lines and it's gonna be too harsh later when you go to blend. So you do want something that's kind of fluffy, and I'm going to now go down in here into this morning. And with the morning, I'm gonna just go above citrine. Like I said, it's all gonna look very gradual. Like right now, you may not be able to like see like, what are you doing? Like I don't even see it, but when it's all together, it's just gonna have that beautiful transition. Or that's the plan anyway. Nothing ever always goes perfect. You know, sometimes you can have it in your head and it still not turn out. But it's makeup, just have fun with it, you know? That's what I do. All right, now I'm going to go in with this shimmery one, and it's agate, I think is the way to say that. I really don't know. It's something like that. And it's more of like a shimmery, and it's gonna go right here. And now I'm gonna take this Jeffree Star brush, and it's a blender brush, but it's a little flatter and pointier than a normal blending brush. And I'm gonna start from where I put the yellow, and I'm just gonna do a light blend. I'm not dipping this in any product. I'm just gonna do a soft blend. Don't put like a lot of pressure or anything. Really just lightly gonna go in and blend. Okay, just like little swirls. Clean that off. And the same thing over here. It's gonna help marry, you know, it all together a little bit. All right, now we're gonna go in with our setting spray, and I have another shader brush. This is a 2500 brush look. Not really. And then I'm going to go into, now my the obvious would have been azalea. I thought like, ooh, you know, if you're the obvious color to go in with this look, but I'm not gonna do the obvious, and I wanna dip into some awakening. So we're just gonna cross our fingers and toes and everything else that it looks good. So I'm gonna go on azalea, and I'm just gonna do my center lid. Yeah, and I'm not going to like do the whole concealer cut crease thing. Just want to add a little bit of sheen there. And you really got to go with your gut. I used to be really, really bad at thinking I had to always use the colors that went with the colors. Like I would have never thought to do the yellow with the red, or, you know, I would have done all in the yellow family or all in the red family. But you gotta like do what calls to you. And surprisingly, it all will work together well, you know? And as long as you like it, that's all that matters. But you can almost make anything go. Don't feel like you have to follow a certain color code or scheme or what other people are doing. Do you. Remember that. Makeup is like a form of creativity. Don't be afraid to do what you like. And other people may not think it looks as great, but as long as you do. And I'm not saying every now and then you may not fall into something that's like, okay, that didn't go quite as I thought, but you live and you learn. It's makeup, it wipes off. I'm going back in a little bit and just touching up some of this pink right here just to fold it up a little bit if you need to, in case it's, you know, started to lose a little bit, get some of the yellow on it or whatnot. You always kind of want to go back over those and just sharpen them up a little bit. You know, after you've been working with it for a while, sometimes they can start to dull out a little bit. Now some of it's coming down here. I'm not sure if that's what I'm gonna do later or not. I'm not gonna do the whole bottom right now. I've learned my lesson. We're gonna do the face and come back. So I know it still looks kind of weird until I get everything on, but we're gonna jump down and do some face work now, okay? And before I like start doing my primer and stuff, I like to take a makeup wipe and just fix any like lines or anything that I want to fix right now. Any areas where it goes over. This is one good thing that I really like about doing my eyes first, because I do a lot of the times I get a little carried away and I go too far out, and then it's hard to fix that once you've already had your face makeup on. So it helps you really get a better alignment when you do this, because you can just go wipe away what you don't want. So I'm gonna go in, I'm gonna use the Cover FX primer. Since I've only used it once before, I like to keep playing around with them, you know, with different foundations, just to get to see, you know, how I like it, what I like about it, what I don't like about it. That's how you really discover if you like things, especially things like a primer. Like, don't just use it the first time and be like, okay, I hate it. Because it could be the foundation you used. You could have used too much of it. Always give the product, you know, a few tries with a few different situations, is what I like to do anyway. And that's what's great about getting like sample or small sizes, because you experiment with it before you invest that money, especially if it's a fairly expensive product. So I'm gonna put a little of this on. I like that it's kind of green. And it's so weird, the texture, it feels just like slime. And it goes on no pigment or anything. Alright, so I'm gonna go in with my foundation stick today, the Wet n Wild. These are really, really good, and they're not really expensive. So if you want a good foundation for not a bad price. And the sticks are really easy. They're just, yeah, put them on and go, you know? We don't put them on and go. You gotta blend that baby out. Don't be like me 10 years ago. Well, it was longer than that, in high school. I really thought that's what you were supposed to do. I mean, I didn't know. You don't know, you don't know. And I like to blend out stick foundations with a kabuki brush, not a beauty bud. Not really sure what that reasoning is, but I just feel like it looks better when you do it with a kabuki brush. See how good that looks? I feel like the sticks just don't need the extra water that a Beauty Bud puts into it, because I always wet my Beauty Bud. So recommend one of these. So I'm just gonna blend this all out, guys. See how pretty that foundation looks? It just really sits really nice. It's full coverage, more full coverage than some of my foundations that say full coverage. Like I've had a lot of them here lately that just, I'm still seeing like redness through them, and I'm like, and you say you're full coverage? But this one, you do not really see much of my redness, if any. So, gotta love that. And it was easy, and it was cheap. It was like $4 or $5. And I got them on sale, actually. I think they're like $6 if you get them at Walgreens. But I got it on sale on wetandwild.com, and they were like 50% off, so I got a bunch of them a while back. Sometimes I'll get a lighter one, and I'll use the lighter one for like my highlight too. And those would be really good to travel with. You're just, you know, not worried about no creams, or, you know, it's just quick and easy. You could do it in the car on the way somewhere. All right, so I'm gonna blend this out, and I am gonna use my Beauty Bud, my Beauty Bud for this part. It's got that nice little point. And see that concealer got in there? Good thing we didn't do the bottom, right? So I'm not worried about it. Actually, it'll be a nice little base for when I go to do the bottom. So now I'm gonna contour with my Jordana contour stick. I'm gonna use this because I just want a little deeper contour today. And then I'll top her off with some Natasha Glow. And I'm gonna just lightly buff that out. I've been using this little baby here lately. It's a contour blending. It's kind of soft. At first I was a little worried. I'm like, it's too soft, but it works actually really good. It just melts her away, but not too much, because then that would be pointless. Some contours and like cream blushes, I feel like they just like disappear. And it's like, what is the point in that? So I'm gonna finish blending this in, and then we'll move on to our blush. We'll pull out some Natasha. All right, so I got my baby girl out. And I'm gonna take a little bit of the Glow Cream base too, and I'm just gonna spot, let me get my actual, this little guy. And I'm just gonna put a little bit of that cream base on this part too. I'm gonna bring it around. And that way when I add my little highlight up there too, help kind of stick. Add it on my nose. And now I'm gonna go in with my cream blush in here. I'm gonna use my finger first. And it's really great with her because you can put like as little or as much as you want. She's really buildable. And then you also put that powder on her too. So you're gonna get a beautiful like blush out of it, like, you know. I'm gonna take my kabuki that's right here and very lightly, oh, I forgot to put a little bit on my nose because I like blush on my nose and on my forehead. Because I feel like it has that like sun, you know, the sun is not just gonna hit your cheeks, you know, it's just not. And even when you're flushed, it's not just gonna be right here. Like you're gonna, you know, more naturally. I say that while I have sunrise eyes over here. That's real natural, right? But you know, I just like that redness. Some people do more bronzer. They're all about that bronzy look. So do you. And get this palette either way. It's beautiful. And it can create any of those looks. I just love how you have your creams and powders in one because I'm into both these days. And I'm like pulling out this cream, that like it's 3 creams and then 3 powders, or like if you have 1 powder contour, but I've never had a whole powder and cream contour. I've wanted one so bad, so I'm like really stoked. Now that we have that, ooh, I just love this yellow stuff. Look at that, it's just so pretty. Just wanted to put a little on. Look at that. I'm just in love with it. What can I say? All right, so I'm trying to think which one to do first. I want to do them all. I want to do them all. I'm going to go back in with this little brush, and I'm going to dip into Glow Extreme right here. And I'm just going to go over my contour too with this, actually. This is what I'm going to use basically to set the contour. And it's really, really shimmery, but like in the pan, but it's not like too much if you are one who don't want too much glitter in your like bronze area. I therefore love it. So that's why you have this other one that you can go into that's gonna really give you that glitter at the end. If you're, you know, that kind of girl. So don't like be afraid it's gonna have too much shimmer in it, because it doesn't. It's like the perfect amount. But this palette is called the Diamond Palette, so. I'm gonna do a little powder under my eyes, but first I'm gonna go around and set it with my Ciate Watermelon Burst. Since I already used a lot of a lot of my cream and products already, I really don't need that much powder, and I love that not much powder look, you know, what I can use less. This is really nice for that. It sets without giving me that powder cakey look, but my under eyes, like they need a little more loving. So I'm gonna bake under my eyes with the Cover FX, which is not gonna be like a full-on bake situation. And I used this in my last video, but it's so cute how it has the little, but I can never open it, the little switchy-baroo thing. A lot of them just normally have that little plastic film that you take off and then you're done with it. I like that because I usually pour my product into my caps, so that's really cool that that closes. Going in with my favorite little Morphe pointer. It's not my fine pointer, it's my kind of fluffy pointer. I am gonna bring that pink in. After all, I've decided I'm going to, so Glory is gonna go in just a little bit right here, okay? Now, for a cross right in here, I'm going to take that shimmery shade that I used way up here. Well, actually, first, before I do the shimmery one, I'm going to take Citrine, and then I'm gonna dip my brush in my setting spray, and then I'm gonna put the shimmery over that. So I'm gonna do like a little layer. Oh, I accidentally dipped it in there first. Jen! Okay, I dried my brush, I hope. And this is Citrine. Actually, before I'm gonna go and add that shimmer, I'm gonna fill in right here, and I'm going to use a different color. I'm gonna use Clove. I figure it's a nice, like a little dark, so I'm gonna use that. We're gonna see how that will look with the same little brush. Oh yeah, that looks cute. So I'm gonna kind of connect where that pink went out. That looks pretty good. I'm gonna find a way to use as many colors in this palette as I can. I keep thinking I hear the school bus. I'm way away from the school, and like it's still forever away for the school bus to be coming, but when it gets even like an hour around that time, every sound I hear, I think it's the school bus. Because my little guy's in 1st grade, so you know, gotta be out there. But are you guys like that, or is that just me? See, I keep hearing things. My other kids are home. It's probably what I'm hearing. The older boys. Now I'm gonna wet my brush, dip it into my setting spray. Again, the Morphe setting spray. It's really the best for things like that. And I'm going back into a Gate, the one that I used up here. Ooh, that looks really pretty. If I do say so myself. Oh, funny story, I just have to say, I was putting a little makeup on my sister yesterday, and it was using one of my new Natashas, and I was putting it on, and I was sitting there, my mom was in there too, and I'm just like, you're so beautiful. And she was like so stunned, and she's like, you think I'm so beautiful? And I'm like, oh, you're pretty, but I was talking to Natasha. Like, out the shade. I was talking about how beautiful it was. It was just so funny. But anyway. All right, beautiful, beautiful. I think we're pretty much done with her on that. I'm gonna use my finger and just take a little Awakening and just brighten her up a little bit more. Because why not? You can never have too much of Natasha. So I'm gonna go dust off any extra powder that I have. For this look, I'm gonna use my white eyeliner again, I think, on the bottom, because I like the way the bright colors look with some white eyeliner. So I'm going back with the NYX. It's the Epic Wear Liner Stick. Back in. I haven't used it today, but I've used it before. And I've just been liking the way it looks. I might go take a little black and darken in the corner. I don't know yet. I kind of just play it as I go. I never really plan out anything. Even when I do these videos, I do not have nothing planned out. It just comes to me as I go. Most of the time I'll like match what I'm wearing, or like today, I want to play around with colors, so. Wasn't gonna do no top eyeliner, but as I'm like sitting here, I'm like, I need some top eyeliner. For me, I'm a top eyeliner girl. Some days, like, you know, I think the look looks good without it. How bright this is, I feel like it could just use a little bit of the eyeliner. Maybe a little wing action. I'm up in your girl, guys. I'm using you for my camera. Obviously, I'm using you for my camera. I'm using you for my mirror. I tell you, the things I say sometimes. Elf's getting a little dry too. My Elf's dry, my Morphe concealer's getting dry. I'm getting out of everything. Good thing these are like literally, I think $1. Maybe a little more than $1. It's been a while since I bought them, but they're so cheap. They're affordable. So I'm gonna take a little bit of the Lottie and just pop a little bit. This is a black, just a little black in the corner. This is the best eyeliner I've ever used. I keep waiting for it to like start getting going. Like on my hand, it like goes on perfect, but it don't go as bold on the eyeball as I'd like it to. But it gave it a little something, something. All right, now before I'm gonna do my mascara, I'm gonna take my little brush, my setting spray again. I'm down here mixing my little concoction, just my setting spray. And I didn't quite decide which one. I'm going to take, again, this color, which is the Agate, and I'm gonna bring it in right here. Just a little bit. See how pretty that looks? Not enough to, you know, take away from the pink or anything, but just to give it a little enhancement right there. With Sephora, when I ordered my little birthday body creams that I got, watch my video yesterday, you know what I'm talking about. Well, yeah, watch that video. I got this, I used my points and I picked this Pat McGrath mascara. I've never used Pat McGrath anything, so when I saw this, I was really, really excited. And I'm always like very inclined to use new mascaras. And this is, it says, it has something, yeah, Fetish Eyes mascara. So we'll see what a girl thinks. And like I've said millions and millions and millions of times, samples are the way to go, especially for luxury and even high-end makeup, because, well, actually all makeup, it's great to sample it before you go and invest the money into it. So you're gonna know if you like it or not. So already the wand's like a fluffy wand. Sometimes I like the big fluffy ones. Sometimes they're like really messy, so we'll just have to see. And it's really hard with sample mascaras sometimes because they're so small. You get used to that long wand. So far, I'm actually kind of liking her, but I really won't know until I've done my 1,000 coats. It's where it gets awkward using a little wand when I get to this eyeball. So I definitely love that mascara. It went on beautiful. And when I like to let it dry, then I'll go curl my eyelashes. I do that when I do my lipstick part, but it was really, really nice. You just know when it's nice, and it was nice. So I'm gonna just deepen up a little bit my sides, and I'm gonna use a little Hulu. I said Hulu again, didn't I? I did. This is not subscription TV. Hula. I don't know, I always do that. I always say Hulu. Look at what I'm watching. Hulu is my favorite though, over Netflix. I feel like Netflix has probably more movies and stuff, but Hulu has a lot more reality shows, and that's my jam. Go and just put a little more blush, because you can never have too much blush, because you know when you're powdering and stuff, sometimes it faded out a little bit, and I like to top her off because I do love that blushy look. And I didn't re-dip it, I'm just kind of excess on my brush running on my forehead. Now we're gonna go and add some more glow. Now what I'm gonna do first before I do that though is I'm going to go into this wet one up here. I forgot how to open it. It has this cute little glass panel, and I keep wanting to go from the side like a fruitcake. So this is a glow cream base. I used it a little bit, like I said, as the base of my contour. Now I'm gonna take it and put it where I want to put my highlight. And this actually, I've discovered already that it works well over like your powders and stuff. It doesn't do no damage. That alone has a beautiful glow to it. Look at that. But this is gonna help the highlight stick. I'm gonna use this highlight brush, and I'm gonna go into the diamond one. Kind of want to use a yellow one too, but I'm gonna go into the diamond one because I just want a real diamond-y look today. And look at that. Oh my goodness, guys. Are you seeing that? Gorgeous. The dogs are interrupting my gorgeous moment. Like, really? Really? And I will go, you know, blend that out a little bit too, don't worry. I'm not gonna look like a floating diamond. Like, are you seeing this? Like, this stuff is blinding. I love a good blinding highlight. But you, like I said, you have the other ones in here. You don't have to do the glittery one if that's not your thing. If it wasn't your thing, you probably wouldn't buy a diamond palette. So, but diamonds are my thing. Look at that, oh my gosh. This is so good. You don't get many highlights that look this good. And you'll get them that can be bright, but then I feel like they're more white, you know? And I really don't like that white pigment. Not in my highlight, not when it's too white. This is what you want it to be. And I love how it does have that little reflection of the yellow too. So I'm gonna grab a little yellow too and put back there, because why not? Can you really have too much highlight? Yes, I know you can, but not this girl. And you know, even though it's very like blinding, like from, you know, when you get that view, but it's not like, you know, too much. You just, when you get that nice view. Like, all right, now for my lip, I kind of try to wipe my gloss off a little bit that I had on, my plumping gloss, which I do feel like it is plumping them a little bit. They say it's supposed to, like, over time, like, really plump them, so we'll see. But I'm using the Kylie. This is my, I call it my nude one. It's bare, so I was close. I'm gonna put this on first. I'm not gonna use no lip liner or anything. Now when it's dried a little bit, I like to let it, you know, sit up a little bit, and I'm gonna top it with this Wet n Wild. It was the Brett Rockman line. I had to make sure I said that right. And it's the Jungle Rock. And it's a real pretty like gold shimmery, so I thought it would look really nice over the nude. Kind of give it like the effect of our eyes. Real glittery like glosses look really pretty over like a nice lipstick. And that when you do a glittery gloss, or I like to do it, like I said, there's really no rules to makeup, but I like to do it over like a matte lipstick. So it gives that matte lipstick a little sheen to it, and that way you know it's not gonna move. You know, the lipstick underneath, it's, you know you're gonna have that color. Does that make any sense? I'm explaining it right. I'm trying to tap this on easily because I don't wanna move the lipstick too much in case it's not completely set. Because this is not a total matte on the Kylie's. They're the satin mattes, which I like because the real mattes just crack up way too fast. That kind of glide a little bit. All right, guys, this is our finished look. What do you think? Our eyeballs, it looks pretty good. And I'm glowing to the heavens. Thank you guys so much for taking your time and watching my videos. It means a lot to me. I really do enjoy making these videos so much. I enjoy everything about makeup, and I love being able to share it with you guys. So please subscribe, like this, do all those things. Ring that bell so you'll know when I make another video. And until the next one, guys, see you later.